Yo, what's up, jazz guitar friends? Larry Tamanini here. Hey, I'm here today to talk about one intro and outro that every jazz guitar player should know. You hear this intro a fair bit too, and I was just playing Days of Wine and Roses by Henry Mancini, or as I like to call it, the Jack Lemmon Shuffle. Days of Wine and Roses, beautiful song. Great movie, really sad movie too, but a great song. And you heard me play pretty much the same intro as an outro. Now, if you're a guitar player and you're at like an intermediate level and you can play your instrument and you can interact with a band and you know some tunes, you might be at the point where you feel pretty good about your playing, but maybe intros and endings are the toughest part. A lot of the times, these are parts that are not written down. These are parts where you as a guitar player or somebody in the band has to step up and be a leader and end the song. I've been really fortunate lately to play with the great Jimmy Bruno. In a guitar duo situation, as a guitar player, you really couldn't ask to be in a better situation to learn from a master. And you'll hear Jimmy, or I'll hear Jimmy say a lot of the times, leave me alone on the intros and the endings. And a lot of people can say, oh, that's gruff. Number one, you want a band leader to take control. And again, as a fellow guitar player, you want to be able to watch a master at work. When somebody says, leave me alone on the intros and endings, that's almost like a sigh of relief, especially with a great player, because all you have to do is listen and wait for them to get to that last chord, and then, you play whatever that last nice chord is going to be, right? So let's get to the intro. Now, you heard me play this song, Days of Wine and Roses, and it's funny because the intro is basically like a part of the song. And I did the intro and the outro is the same. Check it out. I'm in the key of F. That's big time. So this intro is going to start on a flat 5. In this case, it's going to be a minor 7 flat 5 chord. And you're going to go down from flat 5 to 4 minor. Then you have 3. Now you could do 3, 6, 2, 5, but I did flat 3, 2, 5, 1. Check it out. I'm going to do it again. Another thing that I like to do here, and I can't stress the importance of voice leading, you're either going to be super hip and have a common tone, or you're going to try to move it around. I think voice leading is one of the most important parts of comping and being a great accompanist. There is a time to use one note, because you get some cool harmonies, right? That time I kept the F on top, and instead of going to a C7 on the 5 chord, I played it as a flat 2, G flat major, right? Now check it out. On the intro, I did something a little bit different where I went, right? There's your flat 3. Right? I played the 5 there because I really wanted to create tension. There's so much nuance in playing guitar. Here's the other one. And then, you want to hold that one where it's going to G flat, so you have like a fermata at the end, or a cadenza, or something, something along those lines. Another thing that I did a little bit different on the intro than the ending was I put in, another pedal note. A C, right? By the time I got to here, I wanted to, again, intros and endings, nuances. When I'm playing an intro, I want to play something with some tempo, right? That's going to lead me in. So I said, so pretty. And then I kind of went, I wanted to establish my tempo, because even though I'm playing solo, I want there to be time. Even though I had an extra beat. Yeah. right? Just kind of playing around there with the tune. I try to play stuff slightly differently a little bit, you know, a lot of the times, because you don't want to get into a situation where you're just running the same play all the time or throwing the same pitch all the time. It's going to get tough for the listener, but really ultimately it's going to bother you, you know, the player the most. So be honest with yourself and try to play some new stuff slightly. Okay, what's a different way I can do this? Well, maybe, I don't know, I'm going to play around with the voice leading, and I might go... Maybe a different turnaround. How about here's another one. Different turnaround. Okay. And again, the subtleties of keeping the same intro, going down from your flat fifth. These are just a couple things that you can do to immediately brighten up your playing, spice up your playing. And when you're doing this, you're really engaging the jazz part of your brain. We've all sat down, and a lot of people don't really learn chord melodies. They learn a specific arrangement of a chord melody. They're not really playing the song. It's like an arranged version of the song that probably wouldn't work with another person or a band, certainly. So there's certain things that you can do, improvise, to really make a difference. And again, if you're starting to implement the idea of working with intros and endings, you're already on the right move, on the right path. And again, the big difference that I played on my intro versus the ending doesn't sound like a big deal, but it is a big deal. I went B minor 7 flat 5, B flat minor. You know, this chord, some people would call this an A minor sharp 5. I really don't think of it like that. I really like the sound. It's definitely a modern sound and really brings out with the common tone here. I sort of think of this as like another F major chord with an A in the bass and like almost like an F sus with a third in the bass, right? I'm sure some of the theory guys are going to crucify me for that, but bring it on. So I got this. Sometimes I play this as a minor 6. Sometimes I play it as a 13. You know, that's one thing right there. And again, am I going to keep this as a 2-5? Am I going to keep this as a common toner? Toner jam. There it is to that F major. So check it out. I could also pick this up in another spot and from up here. And instead of keeping a common tone, what I might try to do is get another descending line. Right? Maybe not so much. I'm not digging that one. I'm really going to want to go to the 5 right there. But again, that's the fun part about getting in the lab. And even though you've heard this turn around and played it a bunch of times, there's still so much left to do with all the way the voices can move. So, all right, jazz guitar friends, if you made it this far, thanks so much. Again, this is an intro that every jazz guitar player should know and be ready to play. Sometimes you're going to be in a situation where you're going to be having somebody lead you through those intros and endings. But even on those situations, players are going to get tired and point to you maybe at the last second. So you better have something ready to go. And this is a good one to have locked and loaded in the chamber and ready to go at any time in any key, especially for a major key tune. So thanks for hanging out. I hope everybody's staying cool in the summer. Keep swinging, keep shedding. Bebop. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button.